Hello again, Ferrari fans. So we have another resin model to come in here, and this one is by a brand called SP Model. That's new to me. I think they must be a new brand, but I think most of these resin models are random brands anyways. Not many of them actually make a lot of models. I think they just come and go because I'm guessing it's not licensed, and so they don't want to, they make a few models and then they shut down so they don't get lawyers after them. That's what I'm speculating. But there's nothing here saying anything about Ferrari, so this is another unlicensed model. Which might mean it doesn't have any quality control like my Enzo. But, I've had a lot of unlicensed models that do have good quality control. And frankly, even licensed models very often have bad quality, like M2 machines. So, yeah, okay. Well, let's see here. So there's a little card back there. I'm assuming that's the Monza track. So this Ferrari in the real world, I guess it came out in 2019, and they expect to sell maybe 500 of them. And it's part of a new line of Ferraris called Icona, which is supposed to be a line of cars that are inspired by cars of the past, aka retro styling. So it works for everyone else. People like to live in the past, including myself, so why not? And if it makes a cool looking car, which this definitely is, I have no problem with retro design or looking back on your roots. You know what, I'm not going to take this off the stand. It's just too nice. That mirror, if I drop it, SOL. Okay, so the internet tells me this thing was 1.6 or 1.7 million euros, so quite pricey. It's supposed to be based off of the Ferrari 812, which seems a bargain at like 350, 400,000. It's supposed to have the most powerful V12 engine in Ferrari's history. It's a 800 plus horsepower, I guess, at a 6.5 liters. And it's still naturally aspirated, so that's pretty impressive, really, when you think about it. Naturally aspirated, making 800 plus horsepower. That's impressive. It's got to be nice. Okay, let's see. It's supposed to have all carbon fiber bodywork, and it was styled, I think, by two people, Flavio Manzoni and Jane Reeve. At least the internet's telling me that they received an award for the design of this car. So it's supposed to have small scissor doors, which makes sense there, and it's supposed to have a virtual windshield, which hopefully we'll try to figure out where that is. I didn't research it really. So this is a pretty limited one. I know there's a whole bunch of colorways, so it's not technically that limited if they make like 5 or 10 different colors, right? But I guess for this color, that would be limited. I decided to go with a blue because I have so many red Ferraris. I just like to have some change in my collection. And this is pretty cool looking, I think. Alright, so hopefully you took some time to pause the video and compared it to the photographs, but it looks pretty good to me. So the SP1, which is what this guy is a single seater. There's a tonneau here. But there's an SP2 where I guess you actually have 2 seats and maybe there's like a barrier between the 2 people, but I like this one. It's a single seater kind of track vehicle. The styling of this is supposed to be based off of 3 Ferraris: the 750 Monza, the 250 Testarossa, and the 166 MM or Miglia. So I can kind of see the 750 Monza in it. I don't know if any premium brand makes a model of that. It'd be nice if they did. And then I do have a Testarossa and a 166mm I'll bring out a little later. Okay, so you can see this metallic blue. It's not bad. It's not the greatest though. You can see, I don't know if it's splotchy or what. I guess it's not splotchy, but for some reason it doesn't look as premium as I think it should be. I don't know if it's like the clear coat. I almost feel like I can see the casting, all this roughness, and maybe this is a translucent blue paint. it, it might not be a blue metallic, it might be a translucent, and we're looking at the casting below. I could be wrong, I don't know. Well, wait a second, it wouldn't be, because this is supposed to be resin, right? I don't know the answer to that. Maybe it is. I guess it might just be a splotchy. Or perhaps it's painted silver first and then translucent blue. There's just something about this thing. If you look at it, it looks like it's die-cast metal. But the price of this thing, I would doubt it is die-cast metal. Alright, well, let's start here at this logo, because I kind of think I see something wrong already. The Ferrari logo. I think it's a decal, and it's sitting on the surface, or it's a foil sticker. I guess it's like the little part of the eye is missing, so that's unfortunate. It does seem to at least be centered and horizontal, so could have been worse. Okay, this is it. Excuse me. This is interesting. I think the taillights run up here on the real car, just looking at the photographs, but they managed to put in this tiny piece of something. I think it's metal, because you can see it bent out here. So they put in a piece of bent metal, maybe to represent like a clear lens, and maybe it's clear, and then when it breaks light up, there are a bunch of red LEDs. Same here, this third brake light, it's like a really shiny piece of metal. You can see it's kind of popping out. And then another one here, maybe that's the backup, I'm not sure. But there's a prancing horse, and that again is a foil sticker or decal or something. I don't know if you can have a decal, it'd be foil metal, so it might just be a foil sticker with some glue. Really tiny red, I don't know if these are reflectors or lights, but they're definitely separate pieces, because you can see a little molding sprue there and on the bottom there. Really nice exhaust tips, you know, three-dimensional. Ooh, but quite loose. They're just loose in there. I think they might be trapped by this piece of black carbon fiber. Alright. So speaking of which, this carbon fiber is nice. It's like a graphic, I think, and then it's clear coated. So it looks like wet carbon fiber, or clear coated carbon fiber is called wet carbon fiber. So it's very nice. No complaints there. Okay, I can't magnify it anymore. That's as far as we go. We got this Monza SP1 printed. Pretty nice. They kind of like modified the logo, I think, the Ferrari logo. It's like missing that little dot on the eye, or maybe it doesn't have it on the real cars. I never really paid attention to it. Kind of feel like, I don't know. So anyways, let's look at this seat. We got it's red, we got a decal for the harness, and the harness has a Ferrari horse on it. The steering wheel has the horse, and yeah, there's a tachometer or something in the middle, and then there's a whole bunch of switches there on the right side, colorful. I have to assume that's a decal, just looking at it with the naked eye. Some silver on what look like maybe air vents or something. So that's really nice. All three mirrors have reflective stickers in them, I think. Definitely the side mirrors. What about this one, though? That might be paint. It's hard to tell. No, that's a reflective sticker. I can see a reflection in it. For some reason, it's just not as reflective as the side mirrors. Okay, so that's pretty cool. These must be probably quick releases for this cover, and they are separate black pieces, so that's nice. You can see some carbon fiber here on this like instrument binnacle. So this might be that whole virtual windshield. You see how the wind would come here and it would kick up on this like cam back, and then it would kick the air up over the driver. So I'm only speculating, but that's the only thing I can imagine would be the virtual windshield. Okay. So let's go to the side view, and those brakes look really nice. I mean, they're cross drilled. I don't know if they would be cross drilled. I have to imagine these are carbon ceramic brakes, so maybe they're water jet cut, the holes. Please leave a comment if you know. I don't think you can really drill through carbon ceramic very easily because it's ceramic, right? You know, it's a diamond blade or some diamond bit or something, but I kind of feel like a water jet cutter would go through it. Alright, anyways, there's a Ferrari logo here. That looks good. There's actually Ferrari printing on the brake rotor. Not the rotor, the caliper. So that's nice. Yeah, some of the nicest brakes I've ever seen. The wheels are right, I guess. I don't know, is there something wrong there? I think there might be a paint missing there. So that's unfortunate. There's definitely air passing back behind there. The tires are kind of sunken in, so this would never roll even if I took it off the base. So the carbon fiber I think is a decal because it's trimmed, and unfortunately a chunk is missing right there. So I think these guys, whoever made these things, put the decals on and then they clear coat them in. So they shouldn't crack off, which is nice. Okay, some sort of black decal or something here for this vent, and another piece of metal. Look how reflective that is. That's a super shiny piece of metal. Okay, front brake looks good. This Ferrari badge is fine, even as a decal, because underneath the clear coat. This white thing, I don't know if this is a decal or what. I don't see any brake whatsoever underneath the clear coat. It might have been masked off. It would be really impressive if they masked this off and then painted it white, because this stripe is so thin and it matches this. I don't know. It's always a mystery how some of these details are made, because they're just so small but yet so detailed, which is why resin models are expensive. Okay, so some sort of silver indication above and below this bar. This bar again I think might be a piece of metal. Yeah, you can see the reflection of the pick. And then a carbon fiber graphic here, a texture in there, a texture in here. Ferrari badge isn't too big and it's fine because it's totally underneath the clear coat as a decal. There is a prancing horse down there as well. And this grill is a separate piece. I don't know if it's plastic though. It sounds like it's plastic. Okay. A little blue piece here as well. So yeah, that's a great front end. No complaints there. I guess there's some defects there in the paint right there, but it feels perfectly smooth. So I guess it was painted this silvery or silvery blue, and then the clear coat is perfectly smooth. It's so smooth I feel no resistance at all. So it's quite impressive. I have a feeling these things might be hand sanded after the fact, because I've been watching some videos of people doing model kits, and they'll sit there and hand sand them. Okay, so this side, the black vent looks a little better than the other side, the laying of the decal. I don't know which decal side is better, to be honest with you. There seems to be a fuel filler door on this side. Really tight panel gaps, of course, being resin. I mean, there's no way my pick will get in that. Okay, so I think that's pretty much everything we've seen. Wrapping around to the back again. So let me kind of back out here. Well, I'm pretty happy. This is a lot better than the DMH Ferrari Enzo I got. That thing under magnification has a lot of problems. This thing, I suppose the only thing, being really nitpicky, is maybe the eye is missing the little dot above it. Or not, I don't know. It's so small, I mean from a half an arm's length away you can't really read it anyways. It's such a small logo. But it seems to be actually accurate to the size that would be on a real car to me. So it's very nice. There's two screws holding it together. This is some sort of a acrylic base. I think it's like two pieces of acrylic glued together. I don't know. if it is, this thing is actually polished. When you laser cut acrylic, you can actually see vertical lines as the laser passes and makes those lines. But this base is perfectly smooth. I don't see any striations that you would get from a laser cutting machine. But it's so flat that I have to think it's sheet acrylic. It was just polished. So that's very impressive, the amount of work that was put in just to this white base. Okay, let's compare it to those cars that I do have they mentioned. This is a 166mm by Kyosho or Daido. It's a pretty old model, so it's got a lot of paint rash, being a red color. And there we go. And then this is another Kyosho of the 250 Testarossa, the first Testarossa. So, you know, I can see some similarities with the Testarossa. Maybe not the coupe of this 166mm. Okay, so then this is a 250 GTO, another resin model by a brand called SCM. I'm thinking these guys are long gone. You know, they did their batch and then they're gone. But I know that Twice Diecast, his channel, he bought one and it looks very similar. Probably the same factory, but it's a different brand name. So, and again, look at this acrylic base. This thing is so clear, you can actually see the blue Ferrari through all that plastic. That's insane. I've never even noticed that before. So this is polished. It's crazy. Wow. It's a lot of effort for just a base of a vehicle. Okay. So now the question is, I can see some similarities here with the 250 GTO. Just the proportions of it. Whereas the proportions of this, you know, it's such a short, stubby looking vehicle, I don't really see this. But if you look up images of a 750 Monza, you can definitely see the resemblance where a lot of the styling elements came from there. So, okay guys, well, let me pull these guys out. And this thing most definitely deserves a spin on the solar coaster here. Make sure I don't collide with the monitor. Get a good shot in there. And let's look at that photo as well. Focus. Okay guys, well, you know, you can look up the prices of these things, and it's not for everyone. I totally understand if you want to say you're ridiculous buying that, but you know, it's a hobby. I've never really heard of a hobby actually making people money. That's called work. Work is making money. Hobbies are wasting money. That's the way I see it. So yeah, did I waste money? Perhaps, but am I happy? Yes, I am. This is a sweet model, and I'm pretty sure even you know, I don't really think about resale value, but this model will not go down in value, which is probably because of the fact that they're never going to make them again, at least in this color, and there's only 99 of them. So I don't know, that's again speculation, but if people are willing to pay $100 for a Hot Wheels, I'm pretty sure people would be willing to pay that for this. Okay, well, I appreciate you guys chiming in, and I guess I'll see you in the next review. Thanks.